Hey, party people. I'm gonna continue with these rant videos because why not? Honestly, thank God that Claire Obscure and Hytale have released recently because I think there's something different about these games, Claire Obscure, Hytale kind of thing. First off, I think Minecraft needs competition. You have this $1 trillion company that's taken Minecraft, and honestly, I think in almost every case they've taken Minecraft and just added bloat to it and made it like arguably objectively worse, which sucks. I don't think that Minecraft's really in a good place. They don't really do much with it, which is a shame because Minecraft is a huge game and there's so much you could do with it. And I really think that Hytale in every single way pretty much takes the formula of Minecraft and just improves upon it. I mean, you're making the modding significantly easier. Within 48 hours of the game coming out, we have significant number of mods already out, that people are developing. We have all kinds of stuff already out because the modding is just that much easier to use and that much more intuitive for people. You don't have to do a separate JavaScript and make sure it works with the game and there's jank and all this stuff. Like, it's built into the game. Built-in server browser, built-in mini games that are coming to the game, built-in friends list coming to the game. Like, the graphics have honestly been improved. I think the graphics in Hytale look so much better to look at while keeping that kind of blocky voxel style, which I really, really like. And I think the graphics just mesh really well. I think you have a better progression system in Hytale. I mean, you have areas that kind of progressively get harder, and if you defeat harder enemies, you get certain rewards for exploring areas that are more difficult and stuff. You get better equipment, and there's actual tiers to the crafting system where you have to go kind of scavenge materials, and so it feels like you're progressing through the game. You have better building options. You're able to copy and paste stuff. You have rotations of blocks. You have a lot more variety in types of blocks and what you can do with them. And I just think there's a lot more substance and a lot more to bite into in Hytale, kind of generally speaking. Like, so far, having played it for about 3 or 4 hours, I think there's just a lot more to do. I feel like I'm exploring and doing more when I'm exploring in Hytale, whereas in Minecraft, it feels like I'm exploring. I'm kind of just looking for a cave or a mine shaft, maybe a village. But I'm not really exploring. I'm just looking for resources to bring back to my home base to build that more. And in Hytale, I feel like I'm actually exploring the map, and I feel like I'm discovering things and finding things, and I'm actually playing a game of discovery. Is kind of what I'm getting to. And I think it's taken that level of creativity that Minecraft allows, and it's taken it to the next level by appealing to more of that adventure play crowd alongside that creative crowd. Like, you have two types of players that play Minecraft and these creative style games, I think. And you have the players like me who like that sense of adventure and growth and progression. And then you have the group of players who just want to build and create something. And I think that in both aspects, Hytale appeals to those crowds better than Minecraft currently or ever really honestly has. And I think it just does everything Minecraft has seeked to do better. It takes the algorithm of Minecraft, kind of like most sequels to a game try to do. It takes that initial algorithm and then enhances it. Like looking from Halo 1 to Halo 2, all it does is take Halo 1, it solidifies on the systems of Halo 1, it adds dual wielding, it adds vehicles, and from there, there's nothing really different about Halo 2 aside from a new story. All it does is improve upon the previous game, and I really think Hytale's doing that, and I think this is a lost art in game development that I think we're finally seeing come back after, I think, like 10, 12 years of every single game coming out trying to revolutionize the genre in some way. And I think you're seeing a group of games that are finally realizing that the power of making a good game is not in revolutionizing it. It's simply in taking a previous algorithm, a previous thing that existed, and then just twisting it a little bit or adding something new that just makes it a little more interesting and providing more of that content. Because I think an example of a game taking its algorithm and just over evolving it, I guess is the best word, is Dying Light. I think from Dying Light 1 to Dying Light 2, we see that the team, and I love Techland, I think they're a great studio, and I haven't played The Beast yet. I'm going to, but I haven't gotten there yet. And it's on my backlog. And I'm sure I've heard great things about Dying Light the Beast, but I can tell you from Dying Light 1 to Dying Light 2, they tried to do too much, right? Like, the systems in Dying Light 1 were perfect. Dying Light 1 is one of my favorite games of all time. It is an amazing game. The systems are just perfect. Like, it's a little janky at times, but overall, the systems and the way they coalesce together, I believe to just be perfectly done. It's a perfect mix, perfect solution. And I think Dying Light 2, it smooths it out and it improves upon it to some extent, but I think they tried to do too much, right? Like they over evolved the game to a point where it's no longer Dying Light 1. And when I go to play Dying Light 2, I want all I want when I'm going from game 1 to game 2. I don't want a new game, and I think this is the mistake, right? Is I don't want a new game. I want Dying Light 1 with some new one or two new mechanics, some new stuff to learn, some new items, and smoothed out, refined gameplay, which is something that I think Clair Obscur did that made Clair Obscur so good. It took all these combat systems from Final Fantasy and from Persona and from Paper Mario. Like it took combat systems from a wide range of RPGs and said, what if we just made a beautiful story and just, like the story is beautiful and part of the game. And what if we just took the gameplay systems of all these RPGs and put them into one game, right? Like every RPG should have the Persona menu. It's a no-brainer. It's ridiculous. It's so good. Every RPG should have this Paper Mario style like counter and parry system that, I don't know, maybe I've heard it's come from Final Fantasy and stuff. And every system should have this 3D battle interface. And it just takes everything that RPGs have done well, and it says, what if instead of trying to take one type of RPG and then evolve upon it, we took all the RPG types and just put them into one game and just made a one giant substance, of just all the best parts of RPGs, all your favorite things in each of these RPGs. What if we just took them and put them all together? And it made a masterpiece for that reason, because all you're doing is taking what everything does the best and doing it together. And I think over the past 10-ish years, we've just seen every single game that comes out tries to revolutionize itself and tries to do something brand new and never before seen, and that's just not what I want. Like, I want to play the game I love, but with some more stuff, with some new stuff. And I think this is an example of why games like Path of Exile do so well, why not Destiny 2, but Destiny 1 did so well. Like, every expansion to Path of Exile and Path of Exile 2, all it does is add new content and change the meta a little bit, but it's fundamentally the same ARPG. And yet people put hundreds, sometimes thousands of hours into these games because they still love the base ARPG. They don't want every expansion to the game to just revolutionize it. Hell, Path of Exile 1 to Path of Exile 2, they're fundamentally borderline the same game. They just play a little differently, and that makes a world of difference in some cases. I don't play Path of Exile 1 anymore, even. I play Path of Exile 2 because I prefer the playstyle of Path of Exile 2. I can't imagine going back to Path of Exile 1. But they're fundamentally the same game. Path of Exile 2 didn't necessarily revolutionize the ARP genre. All it did was take Path of Exile 1 and introduce and change some of the systems. So now you have two cohesive games that two separate audiences can play. I think another example of, and I think this is how you get masterpieces too, is you take something that was good and you add to the formula rather than trying to change it, When you're making a food at a restaurant and people love that food, are you going to change, if you have an apple pie that everyone buys, are you going to change it to a cherry pie? No, you're going to improve the apple pie. You're going to change something about the apple pie. Maybe you're going to make it an apple meringue pie or something, but you're going to add something to the pie that enhances the pie itself, not change the flavor of the pie. And I think this is something that even, oh my gosh, a good example of this too is Marvel's Spider-Man. Marvel Spider-Man 1 to Marvel Spider-Man 2. All it did was take the systems in Marvel Spider-Man, the first one, and enhance upon them in Spider-Man 2. All you did was you added the wingsuit, you enhanced the mobility, you made movement smoother, but the combat systems in Spider-Man 2 and the skill systems are fundamentally the same. They just added more, they expanded it, they added some new activities, they changed the story. And the game is fantastic. It's an amazing game. Spider-Man 2 was one of my favorite games too. And I don't necessarily think we're in the best generation of gaming, don't get me wrong. I think that was, 10, 12 years ago, back when, maybe a little longer ago, but Black Ops 2, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, I think that GameCube to Xbox 360 era run, or PlayStation 2 probably, up to PlayStation 2 up to Xbox 360 era, I think was just the peak. And I do think we can get back. Don't get me wrong, I think we're headed the right direction. And I think we've seen some masterpieces come out recently. But this video is just mainly about, like, thank God that we had these releases of Hytale and Clair Obscur, and I've got super off topic and rambled, but thank God we have these releases because it's bringing competition to the market, which is something we so desperately need. And I think it's shown people what a good game can look like. You know, like, I think it's very difficult to play Hytale and go back to Minecraft. I think Hytale's systems are just so superior to Minecraft that it's hard to go back to Minecraft after playing Hytale. It just feels so much better to play. You have, you know, better jumps, better mantles, all this stuff, and I think Hytale, Clair Obscur, these kinds of games starting to release is putting genuine competition in the market, genuine art pieces that move people, that have meaning behind them. They're not just a game for the sake of a game, you know, like Hytale is taking this creative outlet that Minecraft has created and evolving upon it and creating a masterpiece of a creative outlet that allows people to genuinely pour their hearts into it and make whatever they want. Whereas Minecraft has some restriction. You know, this is a platform for people to create, and that's really what Hytale is. And I think Clair Obscur was the first example in a good while of a game that genuinely is just emotionally moving, is purpose made to be an art piece, you know. And I think we've kind of lost that in the gaming space. I think we've lost that want to create an art piece rather than just a gameplay experience. And I think all the best games are an art piece. They're a question, they're a display of something. They provide something past just fun. And I think in the era of live service games, and there are some great live service games, don't get me wrong, that I love, but I think there's a lot of times where I sit down and play a game and I just go, why? Like, why am I playing this game? You know, like, maybe there's a little bit of fun to be found, but it's like, why am I playing it? Like, what's the end goal? What do I get out of this, you know? And then I kind of just sit there and stare sometimes, and I'm like, man. And sometimes I wish I go back and forget some of the games I play, because it's not even about, like, I don't enjoy games anymore, because there's plenty of games I enjoy. I get on and enjoy games all the time. I just feel like there's less art in the space than there was previously, and I think that Hytale releasing, that Clair Obscur releasing, some of these games we've gotten this year that are competition with the general market are, and I think this is part of the reason people get angry, right? Is they're like, oh, this can't be the bar. Even with Baldur's Gate 3, right? Like, this can't be the bar. Is that people are terrified of the gaming market being something where you are asked, like, gamers ask of you to create a genuine art piece rather than just something, you know? And before, I think devs were just creating something that just held you as long as you could until you quit. When it should have been an art piece that evoked a feeling and a question, or just, you know, maybe not a question, but evoked a feeling. And I think you can even look at, like, World of Warcraft. When World of Warcraft is in its prime, it's when it was all the way up to the story of the Wrath of the Lich King. It was a story of struggle, of masculinity, of war, of death, of an adventurer rising up. You know, it gives you that feeling of, I'm a random adventurer exploring and growing and strengthening. And, you know, all this over rambling, as I tend to do, is all basically just to say, like, if you're going to make a game, make a piece of art. Make something that touches you, that will touch the hearts of everyone who plays it. I don't think you should just make something for the sake of it. I think it should be something purpose made. And I think that all the best games, the games that you're going to play forever, are those types of games. You know, Halo, Slay the Spire, Path of Exile. These are all games with an image in mind. You know, Paper Mario, Clair Obscur, Hytale, all games created with an image in mind, with a final art piece in mind, a reason. And I think that's a big part of living on Earth, you know. I'll probably start making videos on my journey of self-improvement too, because I've been putting a lot of effort into, you know, exercising and learning and growing more now, and living life instead of cooped up in my room. I think a lot of people are doing that right now, but if you watched this far, thank you. Take care. I hope all of you have a fan-freaking-tastic day. This is Jesus, peacing out. I'll probably be live again soon. If you enjoy me yapping, come join my streams. I do it a lot. I'm a yapper. Have a great night. Like and subscribe, I guess.